I'm just gonna continue the rest of the story when you seeing my face. So anyway, I was holding my hands up like this, and I pushed as hard as I can to end up on the sidewalk, and that obviously failed, and I was dragged around the corner. And like I said, when the truck stopped, I was just like dragging myself out, and it was like my mind. I had like the visual was like I could see like on the sides. It was like super clear vision. It was just like 100% survival mode, and like I said, I screamed out. I was looking like, my name is Nina. My social security number is this, and I just like screamed out for an ambulance, and I could see my bike laying about 15 meters away, and I directed someone to go and grab my handbag and take my cell phone so they could call my parents. They came back and they had my iPod and not my phone, which might have been a good idea, because I don't know if my mom would have. I mean, imagine getting that phone call from your only child. So I think the fire department was the first one on the scene, and they sealed up because I had been crawling outside towards the traffic. So they blocked everything. All the traffic was blocked, and I don't know how long it took for the ambulance to come, but it was like in the center of Stockholm. So it's maybe like 10 minutes or so. And I remember when they came, they put like one of these neck braces on me, and I just said to them, I was like, no, it's not my neck. And remember the blood was like pouring down. So obviously they thought like I had a severe head trauma. Actually, I did have like a fracture here, somewhere around here. So someone gave me my scarf, and it was like towards the blood. But the worst thing was my left leg. I could see it like it was just like pushed together. So and that's what I said to the paramedics when they came. It's like, no, it's not my head, it's my leg. And they sedated me on the scene, which was really good, because I don't know how I would have made it otherwise. So then obviously I was knocked out from the drugs, and then rushed to the hospital and straight into surgery for like 8 hours. And during this time, the police called my mom, and my mom and dad, they're usually outside. We live very close here in Stockholm, but they're usually outside in our summer house, which is out in the archipelago. But now my mom was actually at home because it was a week before my birthday, and she went into the city to buy me a birthday present. So she was taking a walk, and she never brings her cell phone, but on this occasion, I don't know why, but she brought it, and she told me her story was when she got a call, and it was from the police, and they just like asked her, do you have a daughter named Nina? And she was like, yeah. And when they said that it was from the police, she just knew something really bad had happened. And they said that, I'm sorry to say that your daughter has been in a severe traffic accident. She has been hit by a large white truck, and she will most probably make it, but she has suffered severe injuries. So she's been taken to the biggest trauma hospital in Stockholm, which is called Karolinska in Solna. And can you get there yourself? Do you want us to send a car for you? And my mom, she was just like, it's like, when something really bad happens, you just freeze, and you're like adrenaline. It's like you just pounce in your body, and you're just like So she started running as fast as she could back home, and she just went into the shower, and she packed up a few things. She was like super rational, because she was like, I don't know what time I'm gonna get back home again, because Nina is gonna need me to be there like 24/7 for the next few days. And she tried to call my dad, and he was at work, so he didn't answer. But then when she was on the way to the hospital, she got a hold of him, and she told him what happened. And the police didn't want him to drive, because he was working like maybe 40 kilometers away, so it was a bit of a drive. But he didn't have time to wait for the police. He just got in his car and he just drove. And the police actually met up with him, so he got like, they went in front of him, so it was okay for him to drive like really, really fast. And obviously I was in surgery when they came, and nobody kind of knew. They knew that I was gonna make it, that I was gonna survive, but I had like 20 fractures. I had like all like my ribs were cracked, the bone here and the sternum bone in the chest was cracked. I think maybe like they thought maybe one of my lungs was punctured. Obviously the left leg was just like, the upper bone here on the thigh was just completely split in two, and the lower leg was just like to shreds. And I had like a fracture here in my elbow, because the first hit was when I was trying to take cover, and my hands, and I don't know, I mean, just like a lot of fractures, obviously, and a lot of like skin damage. And I had never broken a bone before, like ever, never. I haven't even sprained an ankle, I think. I've been like super healthy always. So anyways, so I was in surgery for 8 hours, and then I got out, and I got there at the ICU, and someone was watching me, and I had like one of those tubes put in, so I couldn't talk. And they asked me like, do you know where I am? So I knew the alphabet in sign language, so I started like signing where I wanted water. I mean, if you've ever had surgery, you're like super thirsty from all the morphine and all the other drugs. You're like, you crave water, but you can't drink water, because then you get really sick and you throw up. So you get like a sponge that you can suck on, and it's like you just want to drink like gallons of water, and you get like a little thing to suck on, which sucks. But anyways, so I was like in and out from surgeries. I stayed at the hospital. I got in there September 14th, and I got discharged in November 14, I think. So 2 months. Actually, I got to keep my leg for the first, I think October 29 or something. They took it away. They were supposed to save it, but that was like a major operation. They had like 17 surgeons, and it took 20 hours, the operation. But when the cardiovascular surgeons went in, they saw that it was just like the blood vessels were too damaged, so they couldn't really do anything to fix it. So they decided to amputate. And thank God they did it below the knee, so I can still have pretty much like an ordinary life. It's like walking with a skiing boot. You don't have that function in your ankle, so maybe like walking downhill is difficult, and obviously jumping. But I mean, I'm still super happy that I can ride a bike. I'm now a spinning instructor. Hey, who would have thought? And the only thing that I actually am really sad about, I can't run for a long distance because it's painful, because all of my skin was ripped off. So I just have skin grafts, skin transplantations from my other leg, like the entire other leg, and also from the back. And they also took one of the muscles from the back and attached to the leg. So I got like scars on both my entire legs and also on my back. But looking at me like this or from the front, you can't really see. I'm glad that my face is okay. Yeah, but running and also like skiing, I loved skiing, but now it's like I'm a beginner again, and it also it hurts, and it's really hard I can still turn really good to the one side, but then like pushing down, it's like super painful. But I'm gonna try again, I think. Yeah, I got like severe phantom limb pain for the first month. That's actually why I had to stay in the hospital a while longer, and because of the pain, but with the right medication, like super heavy drugs, it actually went away, and I was like on those medications for like around a year. And also like the accident was in September, but I got my first prosthetic leg in the end of January, because the skin had to heal. It was like so much wounds, and obviously the skin is super bad, and I always have like painful wounds that go really deep, and they are really hard to get to heal. I always have like 1 or 2 wounds, and as soon as one starts healing, I get another one. So it's really difficult, and that's the most challenging thing, I would say. It's all the wounds that I have, because I'm like, I have so much energy, and I want to do so many things, and I want to go for long walks, and I want to run, and I want to work out, and I want to go skiing, and I want to go out partying, and I want to do everything, yeah. And it's so frustrating. It's like when you're sick and you really want to work out, but you can't because you have a cold or you have a runny nose, or it's like that always. So I work out 5 days a week. Sometimes I do it twice a day. When I do it, I do it 100% for like 1 or 2 hours, and then the rest of the time I just have to lay here on the couch, like rest, relax, and have the prosthetic off. So I can't have my prosthetic leg on for the whole day when I'm awake, because just because I get these wounds. But you learn to live with it. I mean, I try to keep a positive attitude. And when I was in rehab, I mean, I always I always loved to like exercise and work out. And the time of the accident, I was actually gonna go to a body pump class after work. So I was dressed in my gym clothes, and the doctor said that that's one of the reasons that I actually survived. Like just being able to like have a quick brain to realize that something bad is going to happen, and to put my arms up and try to push away, that saved my life, because otherwise they said that otherwise I would just have been like hit going head first. Now it was the legs going under first. So I guess that's better. When I was in rehab, you can imagine, I was working out from 9 in the morning when the first session started until the last session at 5 p.m. I was like working out like super intense, and I was like inspiring others to work out as hard as they could. And I had this motto, and it's like, push as hard as you can, do the best you can. The only one who's gonna win from you being as strong and as good as you possibly can is yourself. So just do it for yourself. And I think those words are actually going to end this video. And if you do have any questions, just comment below. Please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe. And I'm going to try to post videos on here every Tuesday. Bye.